Here's a fact for you. Last year, Portugal welcomed nearly 30 million visitors. But while everyone was crowding into the usual spots, the northern region saw intense growth, with overnight stays jumping by 15%. That boom is happening for a reason, and it's because of places the guidebooks haven't ruined yet. That's exactly what this video is about. Forget the crowds and the tourist traps. Today, we're taking you to a fortress town on the Spanish border that we fell in love with, Caminha. We're going to show you why this place captures the magic of Portugal, and how our family experienced it, and why it might be the quiet adventure you're looking for. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to get here and what makes it special. So I have to be honest, when we first put this into our itinerary, we really weren't sure it'd be worth the trip, but we carved out a few days, and we will be forever glad that we did. We had just spent a few hectic days navigating cities, and I was getting tired of cobblestones, and the idea of another town felt, well, a bit repetitive. We looked it up and didn't find any wonderful glowing write-ups on it, so we figured it would be a closed-up, sad little town on the water. But we were gonna be nearby, and just figured it'd be worth a shot. I was interested in seeing this border area where river meets ocean, so, I mean, Spain's only a stone's throw away, so it had to be worth something. So I made a deal with my mom that we would spend one day, which then turned into 2 and then 3. We were charmed by the quaintness, and after lunch, we went over to a nearby beach and were sold. We ran into some It'll Be Fun subscribers at a local restaurant that were walking the Caminho de Santiago. A common thing you'll see, as this town lies on the coastal route of the Caminho de Santiago, Portuguese way. But on that note, here's how we're going to break down our journey for you. First, we'll dive into the medieval heart of Caminha, exploring the streets and town square. Then we'll talk about the beach that we mentioned, and about the food that we liked, and maybe a few things that make the area unique and make it a bit unforgettable. Our adventure started with a drive through the back roads of northern Portugal, but yours could be done on a train, under 2 hours ride from Porto. What's amazing is that for centuries, this town was one of Portugal's important northern defenses against Spain. Every stone here was placed with a purpose. You're literally walking through history. 5 minutes from the station, you're in the Old Town. When you walk through the Viana Gate, you can see the deep grooves in the stone that, for hundreds of years, carts and soldiers passed right through this spot. We wandered into the main square, Terreiro, and it felt less like a tourist spot and more like the town's living room. In the center is a beautiful fountain from 1553, and we saw local children running around the base playing, the same way their parents did and grandparents probably did. It is life on a loop, unchanged. It was here in this square that I saw my mom's skepticism start to melt. She pointed out all the wonderful shops and restaurants, which were going strong due to the tourists on the Minho hike. And the first store we entered was a cook store my grandma would have absolutely loved. Then a nice wine bar where we grabbed a glass of Vinho Verde. It's from the region, you could say, and it's quite good and cheap. It's cheaper than a metro ticket in Lisbon, and 100 times more relaxing. And a quick tip, if you come here, bring cash. Many of these wonderful places are family run and don't bother with card machines. So this is simple, bom dia and some coins will get you along your way. Now you might think a town is pretty just from the street level, but you don't really understand it until you can see it from above. And so the real magic of Caminha is its geography, and for €2 you can see it all. There's the Torre do Loroggio, which stands at the corner of the square, and you can pay to walk up. The view is beautiful from the top. To your right, Spain, of course, the Minho River forming the border, and the ocean off in the distance. There's more too, but we couldn't see it ourselves. Sadly, when we went, the wooden staircase was damaged, so the top was awful. It's a shame because it's truly supposed to be an excellent view. That said, we've seen the area and we know it is gorgeous. But moments like these are exactly why we do what we do. So instead of going up the tower, we visited the Igreja Matriz. The architecture was fascinating. It's Gothic on the outside, but on the inside, it's quite well lit, and the lights are hitting these blue and white azulejo tiles. Makes you feel a little bit like you're underwater. Of course, though, the main event is going to be the beach. You can drive over in just a few minutes or take the bus. Actually, we saw people walking to it all the time. Boleto Beach is lovely. Plenty of parking, lots of cafes, and places for lunch and dinner, too. A big, wide sand beach to sink your toes into. The view will let us know your thoughts. After all, from here you can see to Spain, and you can see a fort sitting out on the Atlantic. There were a few people out on the waves that we've seen, but that's it. No runs of umbrellas, no one trying to sell you anything. so it's a perfect place to sit and watch the waves crashing onto the shore. We spent a few hours there just enjoying the space and the quiet. Now, we firmly believe that you can't know a place until you've eaten there, and in a town defined by a river or an ocean, the menu is quite simple. It's whatever the boat brought in that morning. And well, by evening we were starving, so we picked a place based on the chalkboard menu sitting outside, and we ordered a cataplana de marisco. It's a seafood stew for two that's realistically big enough for all three of us. The waiter brought it to the table and lifted the lid, and this incredible steam just billowed out. It was packed with clams, a whole fish, and more in a flavorful broth. It was a perfect way to spend the evening with some nice bread and some good vinho verde. We sat there talking about our day, and we're all surprised by how much we loved the area. Yes, it's colder and wetter than the Algarve or Madeira, but it's wonderful just the same. And part of that wonder comes from the border. Well, because after all, you're so close to Spain. Actually, you can take a ferry just across the river. Its schedule depends on the tide, so you have to check it locally. It takes 5 minutes, and well, you're in Spain. You get to enjoy all the wonders that be. Or you can drive down the river like us and cross over by car. And of course, we've had lunch in Spain. Very fun. Now, there's one more thing to mention. Caminha has this excellent Wednesday market. Well, every morning has a market, perfect for buying fish from a great selection. We don't know fully what to do with all of them yet, but Wednesday kicks it up a notch. The town gets super busy on Wednesday as the locals from the surrounding areas gather to buy everything they need. There's the fish, of course, but there's also multiple stalls for meat and cheeses or bread. The locals have set up and they're selling their goods. There's vegetable stands and flower stalls, and well, actually beyond the food, there's clothes, pottery, and heck, even couches. It really gets hard to park, even on the rainy Wednesday like this one was. In spite of the rain, it's an excellent market, and I can see why the locals love it so much. So why isn't your feed flooded with pictures of Caminha? Honestly, because it doesn't have an airport, a cruise dock, or a single proper chain hotel. It's a town for people who are curious enough to take the train. It's for travelers on a pilgrimage, and while it gets tourists, they are from nearby countries and have probably been here many times. You know, like going to Traverse City in Michigan or Gatlinburg in the Smokies. You come here to slow down, to taste the ocean, and to watch the sunset melt over another country. Finding places like this is the reason we started our journey. Not always easy. It takes research and willingness to take a chance. Sometimes convincing your parents is a good idea. And that's what we try to help with, whether it's through a monthly online meetup where we share tips on finding these gems, or one-on-one consulting for planning a move, a new adventure, or our full moving abroad program. Our goal is to help you get here, to the good stuff with less stress. If you'd like to make a change, check out the links in the description below. Huge thank you to all of you for watching, and especially to our members and supporters who make these videos possible. We genuinely could not have done it without you. We should have done this sooner.